Welcome everyone to A Journey of Riches. This is the interview series with the authors. I'm here with Rod E Hairston. We're collaborating on the 9th book in this series, Transformation Calling. And Rod he's a rock star. He is the CEO and chairman of GrowthU. He's one of the fastest growing authorities in the area of organizational culture, leadership, and human potential. Rod has coached leaders to the Forbes 400 list, star athletes and organizations like Disney, ABC, Honeywell, just to name a few. Rod is a dynamic speaker and the author of the highly acclaimed book, Are You Up for the Challenge? 6 Steps to Lasting Change. Awesome to have you on the call today, Rod.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Glad I can join.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And you're in Spain and doing some of your seminars over there.
Yeah, we're actually opening an office in Spain and translating our programs to Spanish.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I got to spend some time with you at your home in Austin for a film that I'm putting together, and you're a good gentleman, and you walk the talk and you live and breathe your message. And I was surprised that someone that's achieved so much, how humble you are. Is it difficult to maintain the humbleness when you're speaking in front of 10,000 people? You've got like a highly acclaimed book. You've got all these accolades. Is it difficult to stay grounded? And
Yeah, I never think of it that way. I really appreciate when I hear it. Mm-hmm. I guess it's never been my goal to be humble. It's always been my goal to just look for the beauty in people, and that creates a sort of equality. So it's, you feel like every person in a room, if they decided to be on stage or do this, they could in their own unique way. Yeah. And so you just kind of realize that one day you're going to be in the audience listening to a lot of gifts, and you never think of it as, you just see it as almost an equal exchange somehow. That even though, I've learned so much from people, and I don't remember those faces, and some of them can be in the audience, and I've never thought to have to be humble. I just kind of look at the beauty in other people. And also, when I get on stage, it's really interesting. I'll always think, who's here? Why am I here? Somebody summoned me, like a genie, so to speak. So you always and that kind of keeps you in that servant sort of role. I'm here because somebody, a few people, maybe one person, maybe everybody, they summoned me.
Just looks like you're frozen just for a minute there, Rod.
Make sure that my message.
We just got a little bit of a freeze on Rod. He'll come back to us shortly. And I first met Rod in South Carolina in Hilton Head at one of his GrowthU events. And he is just a man full of wisdom. Rod, are you with us?
You too.
Okay, he's just why he's going to be with us.
Is this better, John?
Yeah, I can hear you. Your screen's frozen.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
What part did we leave off?
I got up to where you're like a servant that helps you get into the servant mode.
Yeah, it just really, that I'm being of service. I think that I'm being summoned. I always felt that way, that somebody called me here. And from feeling that way, I guess what it does is it puts you in it's almost like you're the delivery guy. You're delivering. Yeah, somebody called your restaurant, they ordered food, and you're delivering it.
Wow, that's an awesome way of looking at it. I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah, that's how I think of it. And so I think so however a delivery man would show up, that's how I feel I show up.
That's
I got good stuff me, but they might be hungry, they may be happy to see me, but I'm just a living guy.
That's awesome. I love that perspective. And how do you believe your chapter is going to most help people?
Well, I think what I love about books like this and why I agreed to do it,
Yeah.
and one of the things I love about you is you're a nice combination of two qualities. One of the qualities is if you just do the right thing, and this is what you live, right? If you
Yeah.
just do the right thing, you put yourself in a position to grow, be successful. You put yourself in a position to. And the second part is if you look at the references around you, if you can do research, if you could go out and know that, and just know that some people went through my situation and they overcame it and they were like me, or they might not be even as strong as I am, then that's a reassurance in life. So so I think that those qualities are very good, and that's what I think that the chapter can help. The chapter kind of says that, even in adversity, when I had the opportunity to do things wrong, you just did them right, and that's faith. And then number two is that I knew that there are people that went through tougher times than me that had bigger sort of weights on their shoulders, and they overcame it, and I could do the same. And if I need to find them or listen to stories, I would go ask my grandparents or my mom, or I would just kind of call my great aunts or somebody and ask them stories, or even talk to some of my mentors, or just read. You have the internet today. You have Facebook. You got everything out there, and all those things are just saying, hey, these people were worse than off and they accomplished, and if that's your goal in life, you can do it too. Just don't take the shortcut. Don't take the easy way.
I like it.
I think that the second part of the book can be chapter where it can help them is that adversity is a sort of another word for growth sometimes. That um, adversity will show itself as such, and what it really is it's our own sort of attraction, that when we create what we want to become in life by saying what we want to have, then adversity comes, and it's really resistance, but it comes in a form of adversity, and resistance is what muscles need you to push against in order for them to transform. So I think that those two, those are some things that people will get very quickly. They'll get those references from the chapter, and it'll help them sort of get inspired to know that they read the chapter for a reason.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And you share some awesome stories as well. You're a fantastic storyteller. I'd say that'd be one of your strengths, that you can just tell a story in a way that's captivating and draws people in. And I know that people are going to get so much value from your chapter. I'm curious, how do you turn adversity to your advantage?
It's so interesting. And I had to be careful with this belief system,
Uh-huh.
because without some adversity going on, and some of you can relate to this, I didn't feel that normal. Like it was like a little bit of, oh man, there's no adversity going on right now. So I've learned from my training in the military, from life, to it's almost like noise. Some people can do things in a quiet, and other people need to have some type of noise or something on to distract them so that they can focus. And I feel like I'm that way with adversity. I don't run from it at all. In fact, I look for it, a little bit of it. I don't think I created. Let's hope I'm gonna focus on it after this interview. Like, wait a minute, I don't want to bring it. However,
Yeah.
I relax into it, and I think really is life. I feel like when you don't have any adversity, you're dead. And that's how I'm gonna know I'm dead when I'm go, hey, there's no adversity. Then I'm that, you've gone to the other side.
You've gone to the other side.
So I think that I think the way I deal with it is that I welcome it. I welcome it, and I get very enthusiastic to kind of see what else am I going to learn about me that I didn't know.
Interesting. That's an interesting
Yeah.
point. What else am I going to learn about me that I didn't know?
Yeah. That's how.
Mm.
Yeah. I was talking to my girlfriend, and I said that I think I was made for, high uncertainty or high pressure things, because I relax when those things happen.
Wow.
And not that again, you want to make sure that you're not attracting those things, but I think that's what life is all about. Like, life is all about, if you can't live forever, then live your best.
Live your best. I like that. Like learning to dance in the rain.
Yeah. Just live your best. You live forever or live your best, right? Yeah. Time is almost irrelevant if you can't live forever.
True. Yeah. Totally.
People go to the afterlife and go, I lived 6 more seconds than you did. I don't think they. I think that the memories and the experiences and the potentiality that is what people will talk about, if they could talk, or if they even want to talk.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and the whole evolution of experiences and living life to the fullest. I've always wondered, like, I mean, because you came from poor beginnings. You didn't really have a lot growing up, right? Did you ever think that you'd be in this position now? I mean, you have wonderful homes around the States. I mean, you have just so many amazing things in your life, and you're super healthy, super fit. You seem to have muscles bulging out everywhere. You have a wonderful girlfriend relationship. You have 2 beautiful children. You drive a wonderful car. It just seems like you have so much going. Like, you really live all aspects of abundance. Wealth, health, happiness, joy, challenge, the whole gamut. Did you ever think that your life would go that way in some sense?
I really didn't. I didn't think that it wouldn't, but I didn't think that it would. In fact, I never even focused on it. I think where I got very fortunate in my life is when I went into the military and I went into spec war. The whole emphasis is on how strong could you become, or how fast could you be, or how many push-ups you could do, and then you start getting into this whole idea of unlimited potential, and somebody would come and be able to do something that you didn't think was possible physically, and then somebody said, hey, the mind is the same way, and I was like, oh boy, this is incredible. And so I think you start developing physical and then mental, and then all of a sudden these opportunities are attracted to you. It's almost like people that had these things wanted to be around you, and you were like, that's interesting, and you didn't really understand why. You enjoyed it, but you noticed that you started being invited to higher material wealth because of your physical and your mental sort of development and thinking. And then you almost started sabotaging the material wealth because you somehow thought it was better. And then one day, I learned that, wow. I think it was Tony, some people said that, well, Rod, it's just like a beautiful woman or a beautiful man looking for a mate. They're going to feel more comfortable with somebody that's beautiful. And if you're beautiful and these things come to you, then recognize that they're more comfortable with you than somebody who is trying to become beautiful by having them. And I thought, okay. And so I started just accepting that the homes and the cars, all of those things were just, parts of this universe or energy that just wanted to be comfortable or calibrated where I was. And that's when I started keeping wealth. But I really only focused on becoming more, not having more.
Becoming more, but not having more.
The having come. I don't have to put the emphasis on.
Yeah. Okay. The emphasis is on becoming, and then the have just follows you.
Let it come then. Like, again, if you're a spiritual, good-looking guy that lives in Bali, then it's going to be women that are interested, right?
Totally.
Not much, but just let people they'll find you in a way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
totally.
And it's the same for women, that if you're a quality, strong, beautiful, strong person then men are going to be attracted.
Yeah.
Now, what you do with it is up to you. But it's the same thing with homes and cars and wealth and so on.
That's a great take. I've heard like a similar meaning, but not told in that way before. So that's that's a good point of reference. And I mean, you have so much experience in life and so many stories to share. And the book is just filled with these stories that you share. It's incredible, and it just flows seamlessly, and people are going to love reading it. One of the other questions I had for you: what are the top 3 reasons why people listening should buy this book now, or when it's available on the 7th of April?
Well, number one, I think that the intention behind the book is truly and beautifully aligned with what people need in the world right now. It's one thing about the person that put this book together, before he leaves a town, he has a beautiful ritual. I won't say what it is because he can say it, but it's a beautiful ritual that kind of speaks to his heart. And that really told me that when the opportunity came to do the book, after just watching his congruency and his compassion for people, both here and that's past, I thought the intention behind the book is everything. So number one, the intention is a beautiful intention. And beautiful intention has a way of filtering for the things that are going to really support and come from love. So the book comes from love because the intention is beautiful. That's number one. Number two, we need references in life. Sometimes you have to stop thinking about yourself in order to get things done for you. And so what the book does is it gives you some amazing stories that you can lose yourself in. And as you read the stories, you can become the people. And those things, those stories, that opportunity gives you some references because we're all connected. And the third reason you ought to read the book is because there's going to be some people in your life that is going to be able to align with some of the stories that you're reading. And you're going to be able to help them. And that's probably the most beautiful thing that can come from this, is you become an opportunity for other people, a support, a help. In fact, when you read the book, you'll go out and start looking for people that you can either tell stories or buy the book for, or at least have them buy the book and tell them what chapter to go to immediately based on their need. So those are the 3 reasons to go out and get it. Go out and get it. Again, it just expands the mind, gives you incredible references, and supports you at being a vessel of support for people in this world.
Awesome. I like it. I don't think I've heard a better reason to go out and get it, really. And I love the stories that you share, the challenges and adversity, the way that you deal with adversity. It's just some really good key distinctions in the book for people to glean from. And Well, there was just one thing. I don't think I've ever asked you this before, or maybe I did, but not this way. Is it what would you say has been your biggest challenge in life that you've had to overcome? That maybe you thought, am I going to handle? Am I going to be able to handle this?
I think the biggest challenge I had was getting addicted to being depressed. And I think it's an addiction, and I think that it feeds you, it gives you this opportunity to create certainty in a massively uncertain world. And I think that at one point in my life, I looked around at all of the bigness of the world and my smallness, and I felt so alone that I created a friend in depression. And I really built that friend up, and it became very strong. And the biggest obstacle for me to ever overcome, the biggest adversity, was really turning that depression into power. Convincing that depression that, I'm only big depressed because I'm big person. I'm big spirit. For the people out there that's kind of depressed, if you're very depressed, it's because you're very big inside. And I want you to just kind of recognize that depression can turn into power. It can turn into spirit. It can turn into energy to support you. And I was able to do it. And if I can do it, you can do it. That's the whole point of the book.
That's awesome. Wow, I didn't know that about you. That's incredible.
Yeah, I didn't know that about me. That's the first time that somebody's asking me that question, but there's the answer.
Wow, that's awesome. That's the best answer I've heard about dealing with depression, for sure. What a way to break it. Just the reframing it that way is.
It's energy being used.
Yeah. It's energy. I love that energy being used. That you can actually transmute that energy into a powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. It's energy. And that's why some of the most talented people are the most depressed. It just speaks to the work that you're doing and that I'm doing. The world needs it because it has to transform. It's got to use that energy properly. Energy is going to be used, guys. It's bigger than us. And so if you're going to be alive, you have to set up the system to use the energy properly.
That's powerful. That's powerful. I mean, there's been famous cases. Robin Williams, a very powerful human being. Anything he set his mind to, right?
Absolutely.
And
and I don't think people teach us that. They don't teach us that it's there. The bear is either going to be a pet or it's going to be a terror.
Wow. Yeah, you get to choose.
Play with your bear while it's young. Feed your bear.
Yeah.
Feed it proactively.
Yeah. That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's never too late to tame a bear.
Too late to tame a bear. Never too late. Because the bear wants love.
Yeah. The bear wants love. I love that.
Everything wants love. That's the key. So from adversity to love, that's what I love working with you, man. And
it's awesome.
I hope we work together for a long, long time. I love your heart. I love your work ethic. And I love your intention, John.
Yeah, thank you, Rod. It means a lot to hear that from you, and me too. I know it's the start of a lot of great things, and the film, which we're hoping to launch early next year, doing the reenactments in Hollywood later in November. So just super exciting to have you in that, and awesome. It's just it's an exciting journey into to really bring people out into the world, that people like yourself that have so much to share and so much life experience. You live it and breathe it, and you've got so many amazing stories to share. And so people can read your chapter on the 7th of April. Yeah, 7th of April in the northern hemisphere and the 8th of April in the southern hemisphere. It'll be on Amazon. It'll be available for 5 days for 99 cents. All the proceeds of the launch are going to go to the Bali Street Kids Foundation. And they're an organization, an orphanage that help get children off the street. So it's a great cause. And we've been giving to them for a while. So, and they love it and appreciate it. And so do the kids there. We go and visit them, and it's a lot of fun. And Rod is just frozen. You back with us, Rod? And that was just an awesome interview. Just so many nuggets of wisdom. Thank you so much for your time, my friend. And looking forward to catching up again in the future.
John, you're breaking. Yeah, I'm back. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So
right. Love you, John.
Yeah, love you too, Rod.
Go for it.
Okay, great. Cheers. Speak soon.
See you. Talk soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Love you.